on to sophomore theology, I'm actually going to turn over to Miss Martinez because that is a class that he teaches.
Yeah, so this course has been a lot of fun to teach. I'm actually new to teaching it, but it's been great to develop it. And one of the things that we do from the very beginning is we actually start by having a major discussion on the myth of the Ring of Gyges, which is the basis for the Lord of the Rings book and movies. And it basically asks students, if you had a ring of power that could make you invisible and there would be no consequences for your actions, what would you do? And the typical responses from the students were things like, I would sneak into sporting events, sneak into concerts, and I go to the corner store and steal some snacks, things like that. And then I start asking questions like, okay, well, what if somebody could find out it was you, but they didn't see you and they would find out later? And then asking them to really look at their judgment. What did they go through in their thought process to determine where do they kind of draw the line as to what is permissible and what isn't for themselves? And again, that just goes from day one and it runs throughout the entire course. We talk about free will, how much free will do we have, and the debate over whether free will actually is something that exists or is something that is just made up. And all of the topics that we cover in the course are designed to force them to think critically about their assumptions. As Dr. Buckles was just saying with freshman theology, the assumptions that they make will determine what they decide. So giving them lots of information about different points of view, which is an extremely important part of critical thinking as well, being able to understand multiple perspectives. Some of the other topics that we've tackled recently were things like abortion, racism, death penalty. And in all of those, what I try to make sure I'm focusing on is giving them information, both what the church teaches and also what the secular world teaches. Where are there similarities? Where are there differences in opinions? And then giving them the tools to make decisions. One of the things that we do in the first unit, which I forgot to mention, is the whole part on decision making. Like, what do they do in order to inform themselves when they have to make a decision? So it's really important that we give them the tools to be able to do that, not just make the assumption that they can. So giving them the skills, working them through a decision-making process, and giving them simple things and then building up to some of these bigger topics that we're tackling. The rest of the course topics that we cover are going to be things like substance abuse, sexual morality, and all of those, again, are just giving students the opportunity in a safe space to really critically analyze what is the world telling them, what is the media telling them, and then what does the church tell them? What are the things that we hold foundational as a faith to guide us as we are making all of these decisions? And again, it's not just about them absorbing in what the church teaches, but really critically thinking about what does the church teach, what does scriptures teach, what does the world teach, my family, and how all of those factors combine to help them become critical thinkers and decision makers in a fairly chaotic world, right? A world where they're going to be faced with lots of challenging decisions, and this is the time for them to really develop those skills.